Bob Cooney from the Philadelphia Daily News, Philly.com, on a wild draft night, Bob, but not as wild as many Sixers fans and probably you guys thought it might be. Was it a little tame for the Sixers last night?
Yeah, it was real tame. I said all along leading into the draft, Mike, that, Simmons was the known at number one, and then at 24 and 26, I said anything after number one, anything could happen. And I said if they stood at 24 and 26, I can't imagine they aren't a little bit disappointed. Colangelo came out last night, said they weren't disappointed. They tried to do some things, but other teams just wanted a little bit too much, so they decided to stand pat.
Bob, you wrote over at Philly.com that the future is finally here and now for Brett Brown. Number one, I'll ask, is Ben Simmons that guy that Sam Hinkie was kind of envisioning when he put this process plan together? Was he the guy that they say is that superstar player that can make the future right now? And number two, does that anticipate then that the Sixers are in winning mode, that, hey, they got to win 30, 40 games this year?
I'll answer the second one first. There ain't no way they're winning 30 or 40 games this year. They won 10 games last year. The addition of Ben Simmons doesn't automatically take them up to 25 or 30, let alone 30 or 35 or 40. They still have a lot of work to do with this roster. The vision was at the very beginning was, not specifically Ben Simmons, but guys that could be superstars. First it was Andrew Wiggins, and that became Joel Embiid, and then it was, whoever it may be in the next draft, whether it was D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, or Jahlil Okafor, and it became Okafor. And in this one, it became Ben Simmons. So, yeah, this is exactly what Sam Hinkie envisioned. To get top picks. Maybe the first two didn't work out the way he planned, in that he didn't get Andrew Wiggins, and that he did get a Joel Embiid who is now sat out for 2 straight seasons. Maybe he really didn't fully envision Dario Saric not being here for 2 years when they got him with a trade of their 10th pick. But, things are starting to come to fruition. You have Joel Embiid starting to play 5-on-5 now. You have a Ben Simmons here. You have to figure out a way to make, if they hold on to everybody, how to make a Jahlil Okafor work with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And, so yeah, things are coming to fruition. It's, I'll just never forget 2 years ago after the draft when Brett Brown just said he felt like he got kicked in the stomach and had a look of just absolute unknown in his eyes of what is going on here. So, yeah, I think the future absolutely is starting to streak towards them faster than at any other time over the last 3 years.
Now, Bob, you said that, they're not going to just win 30, 40 games because they added Ben Simmons, and I think we would all agree with that. But what about adding Ben Simmons to Dario and Joel, if that happens?
Yeah, it's still cautious. I mean, what is Joel Embiid? Joel Embiid's a guy that started playing basketball at 16, played 1 year of college, which was limited due to injury, hasn't played basketball when he steps on the floor in September in 2.5 years. He'll be playing on a body that has grown 4 inches and gained 40 pounds. That's a complete unknown. As much as you're intrigued by Joel Embiid, and I am, as much as anybody, having seen him up close and do some of the drills he does, you have no idea what he is. You have no idea what a Dario Saric is coming over to the NBA. I don't know how his game's going to translate. So, euphorically, sure. Fans can say, well, Embiid will be playing 30 minutes after Christmas, and Saric is going to be that starting, 3 or 4, and you fit him in with Simmons and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. But I just don't see that happening. You're still talking about huge unknowns here, and guys that are going to take a while to have to learn how to play the NBA.
No doubt. And Bob Cooney's with us here. Bob, do you think Colangelo sounded as if he hoped to get another deal done and just couldn't get a deal done? I mean, were the Sixers the aggressor?
I think so. I absolutely think so. I think that, just by him coming out in the couple of weeks before the draft saying that they wanted to move into the top 10 was the aggressiveness that he was showing. And I don't think it was all talk. I talked to people up in Boston yesterday. I think Boston in particular, when I talked to people up there, quite simply, Nerlens Noel or Jahlil Okafor plus other things just weren't going to get it done for them. So, Colangelo talked last night about they learned about the value of their players and the value of their roster. Whether that was a good or a bad thing, whether it was far below what he anticipated, I'm going to try to ask him that today. But whatever they wanted to do and were trying to do, it looks like teams just wanted a little bit too much. And I applaud Colangelo for that. I'm not a big proponent of getting rid of Jahlil Okafor. I think I would take a look at him for another year and see what he has. And, moving things just for the sake of moving things, I wasn't, on board with, and I commend him for not doing it.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that they won't do it still, right? I mean,
Sure.
So do you think from this point on the goal is to try to move one of those two guys still?
Maybe. I wouldn't say the goal is to move one of those guys as much as it is the goal is to bring in something that can help them. And maybe that's kind of semantics there, Mike, but you know what I mean? I don't think they're looking to get rid of over trying to add something, and it very well may be something hand in hand. But, somebody threw out there last night, there was a rumor that Nerlens Noel, the 24, 26, and Robert Covington to move up to get Chris Dunn. I might have done that. I might have done that. This 24th and 26th pick, as much as everybody's saying, oh, these guys can be, they were real good gets and this, that, and the other. If we're totally honest, I don't know, and I apologize for the noise out here at Peacom. I think they're flying in Ben Simmons now, but I don't know what the 24th and 26th picks, European players that are so young and have to still grow up so much. I don't know what they're going to bring you. So, if you were going to move somebody, I'd always said that Nerlens Noel might be the guy that I would be okay moving with before Jahlil Okafor. Robert Covington, he's the best shooter on the team, but you can pick up other shooters. So if they were that interested in Chris Dunn, I wouldn't have minded them making that move. But at the same time, if they felt that was an overpay, totally understand, and I commend them for not doing it.
Are they literally flying him in like in a helicopter?
No, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I came outside of the gym because everybody's getting in there and it's getting noisy. I figured I'd get a nice quiet courtyard, but I don't know. I don't know what's flying overhead, Mike.
Hey, that's PCOM, which is coming to its final days, right? I mean, when's the new digs opening?
Yeah, so I toured the new facility a couple of times about 3 weeks ago. The hope is that it will be ready by September, by training camp. I don't see that happening. But yeah, they hope to mostly be in there this whole season and practicing there, and the hope is to have training camp there. But like I said, I just really don't see that happening. So I think we'll be down by you guys again at Stockton.
Oh, that'd be great. Bob, yesterday Brett Brown, he was asked about where he envisions Ben Simmons, and he said as a 4. I know a lot of people have indicated that he could play point guard. He has said, I'm a point forward. A lot of people have said positionless. And that's the way the league's kind of going. What kind of role do you envision for Ben Simmons with this? It's hard to say with this roster because we don't know what this roster is going to look like. But,
you're exactly right.
How does he fit in with Embiid? Well, I don't know if Embiid's going to play. How's he fit in with Saric? Well, I don't know that. So it is kind of difficult. But what kind of role does Brett Brown see for his number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, he said he's not going to throw him into a point guard position right off the bat. I don't think Brett Brown thinks it's fair to throw a natural rookie point guard into that spot of a starting NBA point guard right off the bat. That's just he thinks it's too hard of a position to do that, let alone give it to a guy who's not truly a point guard. I think what you do is you just kind of play. You throw a roster out there and you play, and when the other team shoots, you play defense and you rebound, and you hope that rebound is by a Dario Saric or by a Ben Simmons, and guys that can just grab the ball on the move and go and push it down the floor, and have guys fill lanes and have whatever shooters they get into this organization at some point, have them spot up, and Simmons finishing at the basket. I think it's still a fluid thing. I think you really just get them on the court, you look and see what you really have, and then you start to mold them into specifics. But right now, I think it's all just generally go out, play basketball, let's see what we have, and after a while, they'll start to build and them into specific positions. In the short time you've had a chance to hear from Simmons, anything intrigue or stick out about him that kind of moved you? No, I've heard different things talking to people over the days. What's impressed me is his body. He looks really, really good, and that's a legitimate 6'10", 245 guy with a solid body. So. He didn't just get that. He's put in the work. He's gone to the gym, which is a good thing because there's been questions, obviously, about his attitude. So the fact that he's doing that is good. I talked to a few people that just said he's a great kid. He really is a great kid that was in a bad position at LSU. Probably some of that his own doing, some of it not. I've also heard when he was in Cleveland doing workouts before the draft, some people were a little disappointed that he wasn't exactly on time a lot of the time. So that could be a little bit concerning. But you know what? He's 19. This is a new beginning. This is his first day as a professional. You kind of have to put all that stuff behind until you see what he is as a professional. He could come in here and be the hardest worker and the most delightful kid that's come through here in a while, and then all that LSU stuff gets pushed away.
Bob Cooney from the Philadelphia Daily News. The 76ers, obviously, with Ben Simmons, and he will be speaking shortly. Bob, we appreciate a couple minutes before he's set to talk.
Mike, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.